Hey guys, welcome back to the Football Hub, where we will be reacting to all of the weekend's games and that Manchester United versus Ipswich one, which has just finished. I'm joined by Nahian, Kia, and Connor. Busy week, guys? How's it been?
Anyone been up to much this week?
Yeah.
Start with you, Connor.
You can start.
I don't know, quite a quiet week in my household, mate.
Are you comfortable there? Do you feel like you could do...
You look a bit uncomfy. Is your little
Do you want a cushion? Do you want
Cheers, thank you. Just going to put that one there and we can crack on.
Right, now that's out of the way. Let's start with Manchester United versus Ipswich.
Yeah.
Just finished there. Great game, finished 5-2. Thoughts on that? Kia, we'll start with you.
First of all, we smashed it. Way better than last week. Listen, I'll take it. We're back. Man United are so back, and I'm so happy. I know we're going to talk about that Maguire goal. Listen, before you all start, he didn't score it, so the game's the game.
We'll get on to that because I want to start on Ipswich because I feel like they were solid. Their first half was really, really good.
Yeah.
And until a decision was made, they were in it. And I think Enciso looked really sharp. He ran through and had a one-on-one, which was
just saved by Lemons.
Yeah. But I think they looked really, really solid that first half.
Yeah, I think they come up Old Trafford, regardless of how good or bad they are. It is still a tough place to go, especially for a newly promoted side. But I do think McKenna set them up well in the first half, and then if Enciso scores that chance, it could be a different game. But of course, they do have a great goal. Leif Davis, fantastic goal, because to put it on the half volley as well in top bins. But it is unfortunate the way the game panned out because they were looking good in that game, and the defender slips and goes through, and then the whole game changes from there.
No.
So VAR,
Bad.
it's such a bad decision. So let's talk through it first because it was Harry Maguire essentially handles the ball. Like he goes up for a challenge, handles the ball,
pretty
then
much
bounces
catches
it. He pretty much catches it, but he
go
then
that
plays
far.
on. He takes a shot. The shot goes in off. Who was it? The defender that it goes in off.
Greaves,
Greaves goes in off Greaves, deflects in off him, and then it is given as a goal because it's not. So the official wording, bar for bar from the Premier League, I'll get it proper. They said Maguire was not the immediate goal scorer after an accidental handball, so the goal stood.
There you go. The rules are rules. Like,
Yeah, come on.
No, listen, I know if this was against my club, I would be in the same boat. But of course, I'm
Oh,
biased.
it's for your club,
Yeah. So
It makes sense that
don't
the
mind
goal
it.
was given, obviously, because it's the rule. But I just think
Yeah.
the rule's so bad. How is
rule's
that?
awful.
Yeah,
How
I didn't
can
know
that
that
because if
existed.
Maguire doesn't catch it and shoot, then Greaves doesn't score the own goal. How can we pretend that doesn't directly involve that? Literally, him handballing it meant he scored the goal.
Yeah.
It was
I think it is tough given the ruling and the wording because the goal should stand as per the ruling, but with the actual flow of the game, and I think sometimes you need to use your common sense as well. You see, Maguire's clearly handled it. He has taken a shot and it was going massively wide as well before it goes in. But it is unfortunate for Ipswich because the letter of the law does say should stand, and it is slightly ridiculous. But playing devil's advocate for the goal, it should stand by the letter of the law.
Yeah, my problem is with the rule. I just think it's such a bad rule. I think VAR has basically made us create these rules that make no sense just because it's there. If that was pre-VAR, that would just get disallowed and it's the right decision. But yeah, it's a silly rule. It didn't make a difference. United were far better, but...
I was going to say, even without that decision, listen, Bruno hat-trick, straight after the PFAs, can't complain, do you know what I mean? He's just him. He's so good.
I mean, he's kind of gifted those goals as well, like, to be fair.
well,
But
I think Greaves went from bad to
he had a
worse
great hand into it.
Yeah, it did. But
Bruno Fernandes is a midfield, a club's midfield dream, I should say. I think there are so many clubs screaming out for a midfielder like Bruno Fernandes. United are in a very, very lucky position to have him. You said there, PFA Player of the Year, he won that in the week, hat-trick today. FPL fans very happy over that victory. But
cheers for that.
yeah,
You know I took him out, that's fine.
but how key is he to United this season?
oh yeah, everything. He is like our star player. You know, I think he's everyone's favourite player. Well, for me anyway. But
I won't say everyone's favourite.
he is, well, most favourite. Maybe not for rivals. But yeah, he's so important for us. And the fact that, we've got him, perfect.
Do you think he deserved the PFA award?
Oh yeah, 100%. Are you joking?
Anyone close? Do you think anyone close?
I feel like you could have said Declan Rice.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, it was him or Rice.
Yeah,
really.
I feel like
think
it was
it went
the
to
other
Do
one.
you think for the Arsenal players, though, they were kind of done hard by purely because how many great players they have? So, for example, they've got Raya, they've got
True.
Gabriel, Saliba, Rice. So the spotlight's kind of shared between a lot of the players, whereas for United,
He is our
it's
star,
not
man.
a
I know, I
bashing
get
on
it.
towards Bruno, but because he is that quality and probably the only star player and world-class player. There's so much onus on him and the spotlight's always on him that he kind of steals the headlights always, whereas in Arsenal, they kind of distribute it out to many a player, hence why a lot of the votes could have went to Bruno. I do think Bruno deserved it, but for Arsenal... No, I do think he did deserve it. He was a phenomenon for Man United, but it is tough for Arsenal because of how many good players they have. The votes would have been distributed out for a lot of their players.
Yeah, so, well, Bruno now, 17 goal involvements in his last 15 games. He's ridiculous. He's a joke, isn't he?
Yeah, mad. And I think he 100% deserved that award. Like, he broke the assist record. I mean, the record's been there for how many years? It's there for a reason. And I feel like you can't argue that he didn't deserve it.
I think he does now need to take that next step and take United to more trophies, title for the year, go for the title and potentially go deep in the Champions League to kind of make a name for himself because... Yeah, assists are great, but at the end of the day, United fans are craving trophies and medals, so that's what they've kind of built their legacy on.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, for sure.
Well, from United, we can move on to Chelsea, which was the game before, because that was a mad game as well. So we had Chelsea finish up 4-3 against Brighton. A ridiculous game. I think we sat here watching it and just said Chelsea seemed very good in attack and then not the best in defence, essentially. But is that a good recipe for potential title challenges?
No. They've Chelsea are really good, and I think they're bringing entertainment back to the Premier League, which I respect and everything. But from a purely Chelsea fan point of view, if you're thinking, can we win the league? You can't just abandon defence if you want to win the league. And I think Emi Martinez probably come in today and thought, like, he had so many shots to get. Chelsea only had about 26% possession today, which is, I think, the lowest in my lifetime that I can remember Chelsea ever having the ball. When they get it, they're so clinical. They're Palmer, Rodgers, and João Pedro is unbelievable, by the way. What an unbelievable player! But
JP Morgan,
exactly. that attack.
Other finance companies are available.
Horrendous, isn't it?
That attack could win you the league easily. That attack is league winning. That defense is genuinely like. It's down there.
It gives me shades of like Liverpool 17-18 where we had Salah, Coutinho, Mane and Firmino where they were so interchangeable and had the fluidity up front to just do whatever they wanted, and then defensively Liverpool were really poor. And
they've conceded 5 in 2 games.
They do have that sense of Liverpool 17-18 where they're just going to be the entertainers of the league. They're not going to challenge for the league title, but I think they'll do well.
You're not having up there as challenges?
I don't think so because of the defence. I know I was a big critic of Sanchez. I know now they've got Emi Martinez in, but he still has a mistake in him. Emi Martinez, he's a fantastic goalkeeper in comparison to Sanchez, but I do think he does have a tendency, because he's so erratic sometimes, that he can have a mistake in him. But I do think they'll do unbelievable in the cups. I think they are so well tailored to the FA Cup and the League Cup, especially now they've got no Europe as well.
Yeah, they've got.
I think they will do fantastic in the cup competitions, and Xavi Alonso has done well in cups previously for Leverkusen. But yeah, I think they do need to kind of fix up the defence before they go anywhere near the title.
Oh, so not challenging for a title?
No, not yet.
Chelsea?
Not yet.
I'd have them as probably the closest challengers to Arsenal, but I think Arsenal are going to.
I was going to say
even with City's performance. I know we're going to get onto it.
I just don't rate. I don't rate Man City, but we'll get into that.
So you've got Chelsea up there as challengers.
I think they'll
potentially.
I think they'll finish second. I think Arsenal will walk it, to be honest. But
I agree. I don't think they'll win it, but I think they'll definitely be. There'll be a little title race going with those two, especially they're not in Europe, so I don't know.
I think there's that old saying, defence wins your titles, doesn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
If they fix
Liverpool,
the defence.
in one case, couldn't win a title before they got Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. Man City were the same, getting key players like Ederson coming in to kind of bolster their keeper. I know they've done that now with Martinez, but I just think defensively they don't look great. But I do think things will change once Moises Caicedo comes in, gives a bit more stability in front of the defence. But yeah, it's too early. It is too early. And I think it'll probably break my heart a little bit if Alonso won the league title.
I can see it.
But no, they are so entertaining to watch. So entertaining.
Guys, if you want to get involved in the conversation as well, please leave your comments, questions to anyone on the sofa. We can ask, we can discuss. Let us know. Get involved in the comments too. Chelsea, we need to move on and speak about Brighton too. Do you think they'll be fine going forward? Like, I'm talking about fine as in their bar now seems to be Europe. So are they in that conversation for just outside of the top 6?
I think they're fine for that. You know what it is about Brighton? When they was making the subs today, I was thinking, like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But that's just Brighton through and through.
Yeah.
It's like they will just sign players from nowhere.
The scouting department.
Exactly. Their scouting is ridiculous. They will sell them for huge profits eventually. Brighton, because of their model, they're always going to be all right. Aren't they? They've got so many talented
But they played
players.
so well today, and they're missing a lot
Exactly.
of players.
Yeah. Like I said,
wasn't there.
They could have won.
They went to
today.
Stamford Bridge and had
Hinshelwood
76% of the ball and scored 3 goals. It's just Chelsea's attack is just lethal. And any other day, we're talking about a Brighton 3-0 win and thinking, wow, look how good these are. You know what I mean? So now they're okay.
And before we move on from Chelsea, I would really like to know how much we rate the name JP Morgan, or do we have any other suggestions for
Cole
Chelsea's?
Palmer don't like it. Did you see that?
Yeah,
yeah.
So did we not? I didn't see
I think he
this.
doesn't think he's involved in it.
Yeah.
He doesn't realise.
But he's the P, I think. Or he could be.
See, I saw a
shot.
shout for CPR instead, and I thought that's.
CPR.
They take your breath
Yeah.
away. That front three.
You know what I mean? See?
We'll trademark that. We'll trademark it.
That's my vote.
Okay, no,
I
okay,
think
okay.
that's,
I
I
hear
like
it.
that CPR, yeah.
Next one from today, we've also got Leeds, Brentford 1-1, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Sharda scoring there. Both these sides we'll get onto dark horses, but big chat in the summer about both of them really, really pushing on for Europe this season. Do we agree?
I agree, especially Brentford. I feel like they're such a good team. Like, I'm really liking the look of them. But yeah, Leeds, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of football fans recently. They've all said Leeds are kind of up there for them, who they think can push getting into Europe and stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
I think, like what you said about Brighton's depth, like, I don't necessarily know a great deal about all the players they bring on because their scouting network is so good. But looking at Leeds today, like if you can bring on Harry Wilson at half time,
you're in a good place.
You know what I mean? You're in a very good place.
And Brentford, Leeds especially, I think they'll be they're going to be so tough to beat at Ellen Road. But Brentford, I do think there's something a bit different about them this year. I think in all previous years, they've kind of sold all their best players in the summer.
Yeah.
This year, they didn't really sell anyone, and they've bolstered their squad. I think Brentford are one of the most horrible teams to play against.
Yeah.
You look at Coyote and Juve running down those wings, launching throw-ins into the box. It's like how Stoke used to be when can you do it on a cold, wet night in Stoke? I think Brentford have surpassed
Can you
that.
do it at Brentford?
Can you do it on a cold, wet night at the GTEC?
I honestly
Already
think
struggled
Brentford
there,
have like surpassed what Stoke were. I think they've
Wow.
excelled. I think they're a brilliant football team, and I think they're going to be very, very, very tough to beat at the best of times. I think Sangare played great again today. Sharda, great finish. They've just got really good players all over the pitch.
Yeah.
I think that Malik Jow's Juve signing has taken them to the next level. He is unbelievable at left back, and I'm so surprised United went in for him, especially with uncertainty around Luke Shaw. I know a lot of United fans have mentioned Luke Shaw, so he's still in the team, but Juve, they're the free runner for him, and he would have. I reckon he would have solidified
100%.
Champions League for United if he was in that team because he's unbelievable.
I think there's a thing as well, just like psychologically with these teams like Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth. I think, obviously, no disrespect to them at all because they are punching. They're punching.
Big disclaimer from you.
There's no disrespect.
He's learned his lesson.
They are punching well above their weight for their club size. I remember going to Griffin Park in like 2014 and they were buzzing like they beat us because Marcelo Trotter scored. And like you go from that to like where they are now. I'm like, they don't have the pressure. The players don't maybe feel the pressure of like, we need to perform for this badge because of the history of the club. And I think that genuinely plays into Brentford, Brighton and Bournemouth's hands. It's like, hang on a minute, it's kind of like a free hit. Like, they're not the biggest clubs in the world. Obviously, they will be in 15, 10, 20 years' time because that's how you build history. But honestly, I think that plays into their hands quite a lot. And I think that's why those three outside of the big six plus Newcastle and Villa, I think that they're probably like the best of the rest. And I think that plays into it a little bit, to be honest.
Well, we can move on from that to a big club in Sunderland. They won today, beat Fulham 1-0, Wilson Isidore. I really like the look of Sunderland. They've not done a lot of business this summer, but I think that's down to how well they did last summer. Granit Xhaka staying, I think, is as key a bit of transfer business as they can do. He was immense today. But where do we think they will finish this season, bearing in mind they now have Europe to contend with too?
I don't think they'll do as well as they did last season because of that Europe factor. I know they've got a great squad, but it's just a different ball game playing every 3 days, travelling all over Europe. You could go.
Mackham's in Milan, mate.
Yeah, Mackham's in Milan. Yeah, they'll have an unbelievable time there. But no, I just think it is so tough, especially playing Thursday, Sundays as well. I know lots of ex-pros have said how hard it is to get into that routine, but I don't think Sunderland fans will really care that much if they finish so high up in the table because of these glamorous European away trips that they are having. And I do think if they do survive, I think that's just fine for them. And if they go deep in Europe, I don't think Sunderland fans will really care that much. And I do think their home form will just keep them up anyway, because they are so unbelievable at home. There was a point until they played Liverpool in about February, April time that they weren't even beaten yet at home because of how good they are. And I think another win today. So I think they'll be fine because of that stadium of light factor.
It's a great crowd at the stadium.
Yeah, they are passionate. Those Northerners know how to create an atmosphere.
Fulham.
Bad.
Are we worried
That
about
bad.
They're not
that. I was going to say.
that
They
bad,
are no, they're not that bad, but they're not very
not great.
They're very good. They didn't have a shot on target today against a Sunderland team that, I guess, yeah, at the Stadium Light it's tough. But my thing is with Fulham, when you're a team down there or might have tipped to be down there, you kind of have a style. Like Hull have a style, Coventry have a style, Ipswich have a style. Fulham, Arbeloa doesn't really. You can't think, oh, that's Arbeloa football. That is. I don't think it exists. Like, I know, but like even at Real Madrid, he didn't have a specific style of play, and I think down there you kind of need an identity. And today there wasn't one. They didn't really do anything. They didn't lay a glove on Sunderland. They didn't have a shot on target. Last week against Chelsea, I was looking at it and people were like, oh, Fulham performed well, but I was thinking, did Sanchez just kind of drop two stinkers? Otherwise, it would have been 3-0. I don't think Fulham played as well as maybe people were making out. I do think they've obviously got Gonzalo looked like a handful against Chelsea, but if I was a Fulham fan watching the Sunderland game today, a lot of optimism I had from last week might have dwindled a little bit because I thought that was quite a poor performance. And to be honest, I'm going to maintain the fact that I think Fulham will be down there come the end of the season.
You said it last week, didn't you?
Yeah. I think. I look at Fulham and I think that could be a team that hopefully we can come above at the end of the season. But no, I think they'll be down there. Is my point.
I disagree politely, but I just think the first two fixtures they had was tough. Like on paper, they are tough. Chelsea, regardless, being at home, it is tough. Stadium of Light away, it is a tough fixture. And they've shown glimpses of good football in the League Cup earlier on this week. They played well as well. So I do think it takes time. I think a lot of football fans now are so reactive and want change straight away, whereas now the teams a lot now need time to implement a model where I think it will come. And I will talk about this for Liverpool as well. It will come eventually. But no, I think Fulham do have quality and players with Premier League experience where, in comparison to the teams that have come up, they just have enough to stay up. Similar to like Everton, where they've not played well, but they've got enough Premier League quality just to stay up without playing well. So I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Fulham were going to do really well. I'm quite disappointed with their result this weekend, but seeing last weekend their game against Chelsea, I really thought they were going to do well. And even before the start of the season with their signings, Garcia, Shea Charles, famously scored against Arsenal last season, who I love anyone who scores against Arsenal. So, you know what, I really wanted them to do well. So I still think it's early days. And yeah, I don't agree with you. Sorry.
Not many people do these.
Looks like I'm not the only one.
Well, it is still early days, but I'm going to throw a take out there we will go over Saturday, but I want to go over Friday night's game, Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. It's early days in the season, but I think the most exciting player to watch on the planet right now is Ryan Cherki. He was phenomenal with City beating them 4-1.
I love him so much. I think he's genuinely, Ryan Cherki is the closest thing we've had to Ronaldinho since Ronaldinho was playing. I know that's big praise, I know, but Ryan Cherki.
Do you know?
No, I think...
I mean, I can see the comparisons, but...
Yeah, they're
obviously, you're not comparing.
Yeah, it's a different type of flair as well, but I think since like Eden Hazard,
it's the swagger and
it's that sort of
personality on the pitch.
It's the personality, it's the dribbling, it's all of it.
Yeah.
If I had a daughter or a son, I would force them to watch Ryan Cherki. Honestly,
you can say marry him.
No, I would force them to watch Ryan Cherki because honestly, he will make you fall in love with football.
Those twinkle toes.
That's true.
The way he plays football is like genuinely. I think he's one of the most talented players on the ball in the planet, and I get like. He might need to win a few more things first to be considered one of the best players in the world. But I think he's already up there. I said it last season as well. He can do something with football I don't think anyone else on the planet can do, to be completely honest.
He's wonderful. He is so good. Erling Haaland also off the mark as well. Shock. You saw that come in. But City looked really, really solid, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
You can still... They're not as compact as they were under Pep, not last season before sort of thing. They haven't got that sort of... energy about them, but they look solid.
Yeah, I do think now we're kind of seeing the Maresca imprint slowly coming into play. Now that they're bringing in Anderson to have that kind of freedom for Cherki to go on, and obviously they signed that Buwadi to come in too. But yeah, I just think when you have Haaland up front, you don't really need to play well because he will sniff out a chance regardless. Like a lot of the games he doesn't barely have a touch, but he just needs one. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a goal. And now that Ryan Cherki's got that bit of swagger about him, he's got the confidence to just dance around players. I think they will be a delight to watch. Those two together, and if Foden gets back to his best, we've not really seen that much recently. But if he can, because we know he has the level to, I think that front three could rival João Pedro, Palmer, and Rodgers for sure.
Buwadi looked so good when he came. Was it the pass he played through to Semenyo?
Yeah.
He just breaks lines. It's just City have been crying out for someone like that, haven't they? For a Rodri replacement, you've got Anderson and other players, but that interchangeable midfield is so good.
Yeah.
It's such a nice, balanced team, I think. And did you say Chelsea were the closest?
Yeah, I still think that.
So you wouldn't have City anywhere near that?
Obviously City played great the other day, but I do think there's still some teething issues. Anderson played really well the other day, which obviously helps when Anderson plays well. City will have a much better chance. Haaland will always score, don't get me wrong, but I do think there is a little bit there with Enzo Maresca where it's going to take time, because of course it will. When you have Pep for that long, people are liking it to when Sir Alex Ferguson left and David Moyes came in. I don't think it'll get that bad, but I do think they will struggle a little bit compared to previous seasons. I think they didn't win it the last 2 times. I don't think they're going to win it this time, to be completely honest.
Sorry, guys, controversial, but I don't know.
I don't think it's controversial.
No. I'm just like, because you guys are getting a lot of City love over there. I'm just like, actually, I don't see it. I don't know. Obviously, I think they'll do well in most games, but I do think they'll be like, I don't know, let's say Christmas. I think they will struggle when it comes to, that tight point in the season. But yeah,
Do you think
I
it's
don't know.
because of the effects post-Pep? It just naturally takes something out of you.
This is what I mean. They're in that transition, aren't they? So like,
They've been in transition for a while, haven't they? Because they didn't.
Yeah, even on the Pep as well.
Yeah, so like last season it was close, but never fully convinced.
Yeah, it's because Arsenal kind of derailed a little bit to kind of let
season
them back
before,
in. They were nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just don't see them doing it this year now that Pep's gone.
Yeah.
They've been in transition for a while. So let's move on to Saturday's results then.
You don't
You don't
have to do that.
Don't worry.
it's going.
Let's still last for you, Connor. Let's start on Spurs Newcastle. Another side that has lost their opening 2 games in Spurs. I want to start on Newcastle because I thought Newcastle were excellent.
So
Anthony
good.
Elanga, the Thierry Henry celebration, just unbelievable again. I think Gossel's got the best out of this team, hasn't he? He's wanted to come in. You know the style they're going to play, and they look clinical with it.
Yeah, no, they do look quite good. Wissa looks like a different player. He's trying 10 times harder. The fans are behind him. He's got that celebration, probably the coolest celebration
yeah.
I've ever seen. That celebration.
It's my favourite thing.
That is the best celebration.
World Cup, wasn't it?
I absolutely love that. But no, Newcastle, many people tipped them to struggle, including me. I
think we all did, to be
I
fair.
thought they'd come like 9th or 10th. I think they could just challenge for Europe again. That manager, he looks like the real deal, and he looks like he's already got a tune out of the players really quick. They're brilliant against Liverpool last week. Liverpool had enough quality to get a point out of them, but that was more Newcastle dropping 2 points, in my opinion. They were good value for that win. He's getting tunes out of players that Eddie Howe towards the end wasn't. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to be the Newcastle of like 2-3 seasons ago this season.
I think it's Wissa's season. He's so good.
I can get
Honestly, like I love him as a player, and I think they're going to do so well.
His turnarounds are incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I do think that Nico Gonzalez signing has taken them up to be a bit more solid, because that diag ball he played over was just like, I was in awe of how much quality he has, and he was coming in to be that Rodri replacement, but obviously it didn't work out well at City. But I think he'll find a name for himself in Newcastle, and he was
Fans love him,
unbelievable.
don't they? The announcement that he had on the pitch where he walked out there, absolutely.
And Geordie fans are very passionate. And once you find that love we've seen with Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes and stuff, until recently, but no, they were finding a kin towards him because he is fantastic.
Spurs then.
Less fantastic.
Here, talk
Not
to me.
fantastic. Gosh. I mean, I'm not seeing much change from last season, guys. I don't know about you lot, but 300 million later, or however many, and same old Spurs.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much has changed at all, really. Like, not scored a Premier League goal. Have they scored a Premier League goal?
Nope.
No, not at all.
Premier League goal yet. At home to Newcastle as well. you've got their, supposedly
Yeah.
Newcastle's best midfielder now in your midfield. Well, one of Newcastle's best midfielders in your midfield with Tonali at 100 million. They've spent the money, like you say.
Exactly.
As I said last week as well, I think it's just too many jigsaw pieces in the jigsaw to try and fit in. And we've seen it with other teams, like last season with Liverpool, so many new players coming in. It's just hard to find fluidity and continuity with the squad. I know some players are missing from the Spurs team, but now they're potentially bringing in Njai with Richarlison going. It's just a new front three, and it takes time to build relationships, and that's probably the biggest thing in football, is to build those relationships. But yeah, it is worrying because of how much they've spent, and Spurs fans, even myself, was thinking, okay, yeah, they'll kick on. They'll probably challenge for Europe, and now after those two performances, it's not looking great. I know it's early days, but it's not looking good.
Yeah.
It's not looking good at all.
No, yeah, it's not. With Spurs, it's weird because you'd want to think if you're a Spurs fan, it's just teething problems. It's a completely new squad, which I do still think they needed all those signings. Like, it was bad last season. They needed to try something, but a little bit of me thinking how bad because I think first half yesterday wasn't actually too bad from Spurs. I thought they were all right. Fernandes showed signs, but they just didn't really look like they were going to win at any point. Same against Brentford in the first week. And if I'm a Spurs fan, it kind of gets on top of the players, because last season they were in a relegation battle. The players looked shell-shocked because they weren't players who were meant to be in a relegation battle. It emotionally and physically drains you when you're in a relegation battle. So to start the season the way they have, they're probably thinking, oh my God, we're going to have to go through this again. It can get to you psychologically, and I think Spurs need to pick up points sooner rather than later. Otherwise, their season could just spiral out of control. You already saw De Zerbi saying, we can buy all the players we want, but we can't buy mentality. And De Zerbi notoriously...
I think you can buy mentality, though. I think he's
Yeah,
wrong.
you can.
But when the going gets tough, De Zerbi notoriously jump ship. So
Yeah. I've
not
seen
sure.
their next 6 fixtures as well, and they are tough.
Really? Who have they
They've got like Man City, they've got Villa.
They've got us.
And a few other teams. They've got Liverpool in the League Cup as well. And away at
dressing
Anfield. No, but the next 6 on paper do look tough.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you going to find these 3 points that can just take you up that league table?
Feels like they just need one win, then.
Yeah.
And then they can just build on that.
Yeah, I don't think what helped is a few Spurs fans, not all of them, a few were booing. We're 2 games into the season, and there's a few boos around the stadium.
I've not had much to cheer.
I think, like I said earlier on in the show, it takes time. People need patience.
Yeah,
It takes time to build football philosophy, and exactly what Iraola's doing for Liverpool.
I think they just need to gel a little bit. I feel like once that's happened, we'll start to see maybe some results for them. But yeah, it's early days for them, so
it's looking
fine.
tough.
Yeah.
A team that did get points, though. Liverpool, well, a point.
Undefeated?
Undefeated, but not the most convincing.
No, it's not.
2-2 against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest game. I think Forest played really well away at Anfield. I know they've won the past 2 seasons at Anfield. So it is kind of a different result. I think we're better off 1 point wise in terms of the season we won the league. Away at Newcastle, we drew. Forest at home, we lost. So we got 1 more point that we actually did in our title winning season. But no, I don't think it was great from Liverpool's perspective at all. The experiment of Cody on the right, Munoz on the left didn't work. I know Iraola switched it up at half time, and that's where we got the goal from Munoz. Fantastic finish. I think he'll be a great little player. But yeah, I just think there's too many players that don't fit the system for Liverpool, like Cody Gakpo, which is probably why he is going to Man City. And that does sting a little bit. Look, the fee is fantastic, reported at 85 million, but to sell to look, we're not going to go for the title this season, but a title rival in the past, Man City, is just so un-Liverpool-like. If he went to Spurs or abroad, I'm happy, but it's so bittersweet thinking he's going to go to a title rival and potentially win them points. But look, we mentioned Minter for Brighton earlier on, but if he comes in, he fits our system a little bit more in replacement to Gakpo, but it is going to take a lot of time. I remember Semenyo saying for Bournemouth that it took them about 10, 15 games to actually buy into what Iraola was doing. Ever since then, they just clicked and were flying. So hopefully,
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that does happen for Liverpool. But I think with Liverpool, you kind of want that quickly because of how big the club is. And yeah, but we do need patience like most teams in the league.
Bradley Barcola, very close to joining reportedly. I think what's the fee, like
110?
110 million.
So they've done a good. They've done negotiation to bring it down by 170 or whatever it was.
They've spent a lot of money though to try and get that balance right. What do we think of Bradley Barcola as a signing?
No, you go first.
I think, I think that's about as good as a signing as like a Premier League team can do. I think Liverpool signing, I think there's been anything wrong with them the last few years. I think they've recruited really well. I think they do look like they'll be fine this season. I do think to pick up 2 points in their first 2 games when there's still teething problems with Iriola. I thought I thought he looked like a player, to be fair. And I probably want to see, I think the pile on Wirtz is a bit unjustified, but I would like to see a little bit more from him.
I think it's because of the price tag.
Yeah. I think the outside noise as well. Every time Liverpool play bad, it's, Wirtz was awful. Wirtz wasn't awful the other day. He assisted
And
the goal.
Isak,
It was a really
there's been
good
a lot
assist.
of-
True.
He barely had
He's
a
always,
sniff.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool will be all right. I think Barcola will. I think Liverpool are going to finish around 3rd, 4th, to be honest. I think Barcola will definitely help that. But yeah, I think Gakpo, like you said, he's actually looking quite good. So to sell him to City that is very un-Liverpool like, you're right. But yeah, I think they probably should have won the other day. I don't think it was a penalty either. But
I was going to
That
ask.
was another controversial decision.
Yeah.
And foul throw, but hey ho.
Are we checking foul throws in the Premier League these days? I feel like a lot.
And substitution boards. We're in 2026, all this technology, and we can't even get substitution
Can't use
boards
it,
out.
can they?
Look, we've got announcers, we've got a manager. Go Sunday League. Hey, come off. Come on.
Can you imagine?
Just makes it quicker. I don't care what number. I don't care. I know what the playing numbers are. I don't need to see them.
Word on
Anyway,
Forest.
there's my little rant gone.
Yeah.
You calm down now. Nottingham Forest. Very impressive
Yeah,
performance
they are.
from them. They look really solid.
You know what? I'm gonna confess I was wrong. I had Forest to struggle a little bit at the start of the season, but to be honest, I know that they lost to Leeds and they lost to Leeds in the cup, but the performance against Liverpool, I think they'll be fine. I think Forest will be absolutely fine this season. They've got a lot of good players. When you have Gibbs White, you always have a chance as well.
Yeah.
And their defence looks just as solid as it did. I think Nottingham Forest will probably be mid-table abouts. Glasner, you know what he's like. He just sets his teams up to be pretty solid. And that's what we saw the other day. The players are obviously kind of buying into it. They're still trying to make signings. They're trying to sign the whole Palace team. They'll try and sign Selhurst Park next if we're not careful. But no, I think for Nottingham Forest, they look a lot better than I thought. And you've got to give them credit where it's due. I think they'll be perfectly fine when I thought they might struggle.
A lot of the profiles of their players are perfect for Glasner and the way they play. Like Nico Williams being able to maraud forward and put balls in. Shout out the producer for that one.
I was going to say.
But no, yeah, they've got a lot. And Delap now as well. He was a handful. So I think,
I thought he looked pretty sharp.
yeah, he was. So I think they'll be okay.
Bournemouth then. Bournemouth versus Everton. I'm looking at you, Keir, because you were very impressed with Alex Scott.
Yeah, honestly, great goal. And I think, you've done the little phone thing once again. Yeah, no, I thought they both, it looked like a good game, to be fair. Both teams scored, so pretty even.
The celebration thing, I think I saw people saying like, "Oh, is that him?"
I
saying
saw
he's
that.
He's
He's been doing that all season.
But to be fair, there were rumours about his transfers, potentially leaving and
He's a
stuff.
brilliant player, Alex Scott.
I think he should have got. I think outside chance of the World Cup, he should have gone.
I had him as an outsider.
Him and Elliot Anderson last season were, I think, similar levels, but a lot of the noise was on Elliot Anderson. Because Forest were more in the spotlight and stuff, but I didn't really hear much about Alex Scott in terms of comparatively to Elliot
the end
Anderson.
Of the season, wasn't it, when they started pushing for Europe? You started hearing more about him. But I think was Chelsea were looking at him.
Yeah.
If Enzo ends up going
Potentially
to
leaves,
Manchester City, he's just a star quality player, though.
Yeah.
I think a move like that will show the level.
We've got a lot of them now for England. Adam Wharton, Alex
Mm.
Scott, Elliot Anderson. So the future looks bright for the Euros in 2 years' time.
It does.
The future might not look so bright for Everton fans. They're not very happy the way things at the club are going. Moyes doesn't seem to be too happy with the way things are going.
It's all a bit odd, isn't it?
It's it's a strange one at the minute. There was the Harrison Armstrong deal.
Yeah, the Everton fans gave it a few chances after the game, and that's probably made them stay now. They're not.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they pulled out of that deal now.
But now they're getting rid of Njai.
Njai's off to Tottenham. So
they're
it's
trying to get
so mad,
Richarlison
isn't it?
back.
Yeah, trying.
Which is
but
just,
they've definitely got to sell players. It just seems they're stuck in a bit of limbo, and this middling team. Like, but Everton are a giant club, but like we say the same thing about Everton every season, and it's could they possibly push on? And it never feels like they quite.
Yeah, because they do have the fan base. Like obviously being in the city, they are a massive club. They really are. They've got loads of history. The stadium now is fantastic, and you thought, they can make that next step up. Especially when we're talking about Leeds, Brentford, Brighton, getting to Europe. Everton fans should be looking like that should be us, and it should be. It really should be because how big the club are. They've had great infrastructure. They've had great players, but they just can't really retain them because they can't make that step up. And I do think if things don't go well, this is an early shout, but Eddie Howe's not available. I think Eddie Howe for Everton, if David Moyes does go, of course, it's very early talks, but Eddie Howe, I think, could take them to the next step and play that real attacking football that they probably crave. because he is available. So why not go for him?
Yeah.
It's quite a good shout, actually. I can actually see that happening now that you said it, to be fair. I think Everton are a bit stuck, though. Like, as a football club, you don't want to become stuck. And I think their fans feel a bit stuck as well, because they're probably a bit too good to go down. They're probably not good enough to get Europe, but there doesn't seem like there's enough ambition to get the to get European
just kind of
spots.
there. Aren't
Yeah,
they? Just
growing
like,
up for me,
like
Everton were
Palace
always
were.
like
but then
top
now
four in Villa and Everton, and it's just
Yeah.
they seem a little bit stuck at the minute, and their fans sound like they've had enough. They probably should have lost the other day. They played quite well. Petrovic played really well in goal for Bournemouth, but if it weren't for another mistake for Bournemouth at the back, it would have been a 1-0 loss, and Everton fans would be getting on their backs even more.
Yeah.
So the final one of the weekend, then. And I'm apologising for
You
what
can
we're
take the
about.
floor.
Was there another game this weekend?
There was. It was Coventry City versus Hull City. Coventry City were.
Mauled by the
my
Tigers.
God.
I've cringed. One and done.
That's game
One and
cleared.
done.
One and done. What I will say is, it's Cameron one. That Mauled by the Tigers chant is the best chant in the Premier League.
So
I love
good.
Mauled by the Tigers.
So good.
It is the most rattling chant. My head would be
It's
steaming.
just pure
if I was
rage
in your
bait,
way.
isn't
It's
it?
rage
Like,
bait.
it
It's
actually
the best
is.
rage bait.
Last
It's the
week-
best
It's the
chant
one.
in the Premier League.
Imagine being the United fans last week, just left and
Okay.
right, just seeing people do that. Oh, I'd be on the concourse. I'd be on the next train home, actually.
Yeah.
Could be worse. You could
No
have
trains
been
that-
in Coventry, watching
Yeah,
your
true.
team and them doing it to you. So Connor, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good game. So I think the game itself, obviously going into it, it felt like a bit of a 6-pointer, which is an unfortunate. I thought it was actually quite an unfortunate first home fixture back in the Premier League for Cov, because it felt a little bit like really, really important. It felt really important, is my point. And I was like, I would much rather have had a game with a lot less stakes, maybe a game against a big team or something where it almost felt like a free hit.
I mean, you've got next week, so you've got your wish.
We got Man City away, so it only gets easier from here. But no, the game itself, we played into Hull's hands. I think that was a problem. I think we did the same thing last season across both games against Hull, drew 0-0 both games. I think Coventry versus Hull should just be banned as a fixture, because all the games are awful when we play against them. But I think the worst thing about the way we lost was we had a warning about 5 minutes before. We sent all our players up for a corner. They cleared it. Miller went through, hit it wide. Okay, don't do that again. 5 minutes later, we have another corner. Our deepest player was about 10 yards away from the edge of the box. Miller's got the whole 65 yards to run into, and he's rapid as well. And he literally a carbon copy of what happened 5 minutes before, except this time he finished it. And once you go a goal down to Hull, it's so hard to get anything against them again. We had a few chances. Awoniyi had a chance. Jada Silva had a chance, but honestly, it was. There's going to be teething problems because it is a very new squad. We've bought loads of players, but that one deflated me, and it deflated a lot of Cov fans. I think it was.
Do you think it's a big sting in your relegation survival already because it's Hull?
You don't want to say it after 2 games, but I would say any game against Hull and Ipswich this season, it feels like a bit of a must-win.
Yeah.
And that's now 5 games in a row against Hull and Ipswich combined, where we haven't even scored a goal, including last season, and that can hurt. And then you look at the things of the Premier League. No one told me how hard it was going to be, because you know
Should have got in.
Held your hand.
because last season, for instance, we'll lose a game and then we think, oh, it's okay, no disrespect to these clubs, but you got like maybe like a Preston or a Bristol City in midweek, and you think that's a good chat. I look after the like, Man City away, and then we've got Brighton, and then we've got Forest away.
Right, you thought Man City would struggle this season.
The Man
so there you go.
City might
3
struggle,
points
but they
ahead,
might
yeah.
not struggle against us, is the thing. But yeah, it looks like it could be a long season for us. It was always going to be the way. But I'm not going to say we're down after 2 games, because that would be obviously very silly. But
Long way to go.
it hurt.
Yeah.
It really, really hurt. I'll be completely honest. It kind of ruined my entire weekend. And yeah.
That's right. You enjoying yourself now?
That's it, mate.
Yeah,
That's it.
I've had such great fun. You guys just did Mauled by the Tigers in my face. And there's an Aston Villa pillow here. Oh, God, my head's going to go again.
Closer.
Here, how long do you think Frank Lampard gets? Would you give him the season, given he's just got them promoted, or do you think they should make a change at some point?
I feel like
If
it's
it still
right to give
goes?
him the season. You know, he's got you here in the first place. I feel like it's so disrespectful when teams do that. I mean, I understand, obviously, if it's completely, you know, you get to Christmas and you haven't won a single, you don't won a single game. I don't know, which is kind of looking likely, but I don't want to say it is still early days. But then,
Likely?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Don't say
What game
that.
do you think you're going to get your point in? Or Your 3 points.
United.
City away.
You might actually do it. You know, you never know.
The scenes.
But
I do think we'll give Lampard the season regard.
Yeah.
I think Doug King and Lampard have a really good relationship. One thing I will say is Doug King is desperate for Coventry to stay in the Premier League, obviously, like we all are. But I do think, like you said, if it gets really, really bleak, then there is obviously a chance. But I don't think it will get to that point. I think even if we are down there, which we most likely will be, it will be close enough where Lampard has got enough credit in the bank to keep his job.
Yeah.
And even if we do go down very far in the future, Lampard is the kind of manager that can bring you back up. So I think it would be silly to get rid of someone that we all love very much.
Agreed.
But if he got rid of Mark Robbins, he probably can get rid of
I think
Lampard.
he's like in the similar ilk of like Scott Parker and stuff, where players as well have their level. I think managers probably have their level as well. We've seen with Chelsea and Everton, he didn't really pull up trees and do exceptional there. And I think it will be a similar story to Coventry.
Hull, though, on the other hand,
Honestly,
6
good team.
points. I love Hull City, not only for the chance, but I think the way they play, they have come up to the Premier League and played how I think a promoted team should play.
Yeah.
And they've been conservative. They've not changed how they were from last season. And they've got 2 wins to show for it. How impressed are we with Hull City?
so impressed. Like, they've shown identity like straight away, and they're not shying away. I don't know what it is. Like, I really thought we lost to them last week, and I expected us to. I mean, not even just us. I think everyone. You ask any Premier League fan, I feel like they would have said, "Okay, United easily should have won that," but we didn't. There we go. It's literally just a testament to Hull how good they are.
Loads of people had them to like break Derby's record, low points record.
Didn't Ollie McBurney come
Yeah,
out
the
and said
McBurney
so?
case. Yeah, it's not a bad
Exactly.
result for
For
the
the worst
Premier
team
League,
ever,
for the
yeah,
worst
yeah.
team in Premier League history.
Yeah. I think the thing about Hull is they're unapologetically themselves, and I think when you play that kind of football, sometimes you might have fans that could like get on your back because they don't want the ball. They do not want the ball at all, and their fans have bought into it completely. Obviously, I mean they were actually tipped to go down last season, and obviously they got promoted, and now they've got 6 points from 6, not conceded a goal. I think the way that they play, they've just got giants at the back. They've got a horribly physical midfield, a striker who's literally like ready to die for the badge. It's a good mix. It's a very good time to be a Hull fan. Their fans were excellent as well yesterday at the CBS, I must say. They were like really loud all the way through until the Maul by the Tigers bit, which we won't talk about.
Not every team needs to come up and play attractive football. At the end of the day, if I was a Hull fan, if I won 1-0 every other week playing ugly football and I stayed up, I'd be happy.
Yeah, you don't care, do you?
Yeah.
They're going to be
points,
very
3
tough to
points,
beat this season. Very tough to beat.
So, with that, a new feature designed based on some of the takes we had on the first week. I'm going to call this one the rap sheet. I'm going to shout out Football HMRC because it's probably a similar style. But
You can check
Connor,
that out
you're
on
up.
Sounds.
Because your quote last week was Coventry are the best promoted side. So Coventry have the best squad out of all 3 promoted sides. How do you feel about that statement now, and how would you like to address the jury?
Look, I said that after Coventry lost 3-0 to the best team in the league. I do think, if we're talking squad-wise, it's still very close. I still genuinely, if we're talking like talent-wise in the squads, I would still say Hull probably have the worst squad out of the 3, but that doesn't necessarily translate to results. And I would say if I was to pick one of the 3 newly promoted teams to stay up as of right now, I know that they just lost to United. I would still probably choose Ipswich. I think their transfer window has been brilliant. They've just signed Tammy Abraham, which is an unreal signing. They actually weren't awful against United today. United just had a few lucky breaks and obviously have the quality as well. But I would say if I was, as of 2 games in, I'm not getting dramatic, as of 2 games in, it would probably go Ipswich have the best chance, Hull have the second best chance, and we have the third best chance. But in a week's time, we could have the best chance,
Honesty
right?
is the best policy.
he's
Connor.
It's growth. We're still staying up, so I don't know what everyone's clapping about, but
Jury finds you innocent of all.
Yeah, there you go.
Predictions for the promoted sides then from you, Keir?
As in who's going down, who's staying
Well,
up?
do you think any of them will stay up? Do you think all of them will go down?
At this rate, I think Hull might stay up. Genuinely, the Tigers are staying. But yeah, I think Cov, you're going down.
Yep.
But Ipswich, again, I thought Ipswich played well today. They didn't look like a team that's just been promoted. I would have thought they'd been in Premier League for a little while. They gave us a game. They didn't shy away. They had a few good players, which I thought, he looks quite good. But then, who knows?
I'm sticking to last week's prediction. I think they'll just go down. Yeah, I think there's too much quality in the other 17, and I think that's the toughest thing to kind of bridge that gap. But yeah, it is a huge dump. But I think a few of them will come back up the season after anyway. But yeah, I think they just go back down.
Right, one more game to talk about, and it's tomorrow's game. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. It was Aston Villa versus Arsenal. I forgot the way around now.
It's Villa at home.
It's Villa at home, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got your cushion
There you
to
go.
remind
There's
you.
your cushion.
Just a quick prediction on that then. What do we think the result's going to be tomorrow? Villa not had the best start to the season. Arsenal have. But how do we think tomorrow's going to go?
It could be looking rough for Villa, I think. I'm going to say 3-0 Arsenal.
That's
just
a
going
great
out
result
there.
for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I do think Arsenal will win easily, but Villa have made a few signings now. Nicholas Jackson, potentially Mbaye coming in. Even if they lose to Arsenal, they won't worry that much because those signings will kick in and hopefully kick them on up the league.
17-0 to... No, I'm joking. No, Villa have made some really good signings, like you said. Mbaye, brilliant. But if he gets over the line, that is. Jackson is a handful. Maggio, if and when he comes back from injury. They do have some good players. They'll be fine in the long run, but I do think Arsenal are just way better than them. Yeah. And that's no slight on Villa. I think Arsenal are just the best team in the league. So I'll probably go maybe like 3-1 to Arsenal tomorrow. That's my prediction.
The 3-goal mark.
Yeah.
It is going to be
I do think it'll be fairly straightforward for Arsenal, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I think Villa will put up a bit of a fight.
Ooh.
I can see Villa scraping.
It'll make it interesting. It'll make the league interesting already.
I could see him scraping something out of tomorrow. I just think
Villa Park with the delights.
Villa Park, the bounce back effect from last week. Emery, Watkins now going. There was a lot of
there was a lot of uncertainty last week.
Exactly. Whereas now
he was a bit emotional, Emery, last week when he said he came out and had a little tear with Watkins. So maybe that played into part with his performance.
Yeah, I could just see him nicking something.
Hopefully, you'll make for a good match.
There you go. So, well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining us on the Football Hub. We will be back next Sunday. So subscribe to BBC Football and BBC Sport, and we'll see you back there then.